Joe Budden. Does that podcast still go? Does Joe Budden still do it?
Oh, there's that drama, wasn't there? Right?
There was that drama, yeah.
I think it is still going. I think he just sacked off to his like mates.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's still doing it, what, by himself?
Probably gets new mates
Yeah,
with the money he's on. Like, yeah, I'll buy new friends.
yeah, literally. Yeah, I saw like a whole like hour video on that Joe Budden fiasco. And I don't know why I watched it.
I don't know why
I didn't care
watch it for
at
an
all.
hour. Yeah. I've done that before. Is that rolling?
I think I assume so. I don't know.
Oh, is he off?
If it is, then we'll say hello and welcome back to the In Time podcast.
Nice.
I'm with Amir as always, and we're back in the studio for what is still quite a weird experience.
Yeah, it's good. Second one.
Yeah, we're with a wonderful guest today, legend, multi-instrumentalist, producer, Conor Albert.
Where am I looking?
I have no idea.
Whichever camera you want.
I want to look like
I think that's the main one. I think
that's but whichever one you want to assert dominance to. Like.
That one looks like it's like kind of off angle.
I don't think we get that angle.
No, we will. I think we will.
What's it for then?
I don't think we do.
Oh, that's all right. We'll just talk to either one and hope for the best.
How's it going?
Yeah. Anyway, so it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for coming.
Good.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. I just had a nightmare this morning though. Just like everything went wrong. Like I kind of like was trying to make like a burger and I spilled like pickle juice all over my leg.
I was having a similar thing. I just had to, just before we started recording, I was like, quick little sauce check, make sure I haven't spilled any sauce on my top.
Yeah, dude, literally, I just don't know what happened. I spilled a bunch of sauce. I spilled a bunch of pickle juice. Sounds kind of sus. And I what else did I do? I just kept messing up this morning. It was just one of them days.
I'm just thinking now, that burger for breakfast.
What was that?
That burger for breakfast.
Well, I woke up at like 12, so
right, it's a brunch. Like
I just eat when I'm hungry. I don't have like a scheduled.
Yeah. You're like every influencing athlete's like worst nightmare. They'll be like,
oh man, I do want to get into that though, like because I want to like. I want to meal prep. I eat for like utility. Yeah. Like I just eat when I'm hungry and I don't really care about how it tastes. I mean, I'd like it to taste like good, but I just want to like just eat. Like I hate cooking. Is basically what I'm trying to say. I really hate it.
So I think once you kind of get into the stride of it, it's actually quite meditative. Like,
yeah. Do you have a partner that you live with?
No. Okay. You reminded me how bad I've got it.
Oh yeah, I did not know how to cook. I cannot cook anything. I live with my girlfriend in London.
Yeah.
She's had to teach me every step. I couldn't work an oven.
But it's quite fun when you do it with
it's good,
a girlfriend or like a housemate or whatever. Like that's calm.
Yeah, you can make it into like an event. You can pick a meal, can't you, and make it into a night. As opposed to just having.
That being said, though, when I cook with my ex. Like I'd do something a certain way and she'd be like, no, you should do it another way. And then she'd do something a certain way. I'd be like, no, there's a quicker way to do this or whatever. Exactly. That's what I feel like happens every time you cook with another person. Everybody's like stuck in their ways. And it's the one thing with cooking. People aren't willing to take any advice when it comes to cooking, I feel like. I don't know. But.
No, I had the exact same thing. So I actually did used to meal prep when I used to work like I used to work on the countryside. So when I used to work over there, like I had to just meal prep everything because I hated using like the places where I was renting, like the kitchens there.
Yeah.
But it's the worst thing was when I left that job and I kind of moved back home for a bit. And I've got my own way I've learned how to cook, and then like with my family, with my mum or sisters, and they're like, That's not how you do it. They just stood over your shoulder. I'm just thinking, I'm not gonna like. Just eventually, you kind of just phase out of it, thinking it's too much stress to actually cook now.
Yeah, I totally feel you, man. But sorry, I feel like I've taken us on
I like that. I like
on
food.
A detour.
Yeah,
I mean, we just had some pretty good pizza, didn't we?
We did have some wood-fired pizza next door.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Pizza bar cafe.
Oh yeah, I saw that coming in.
Yeah. Good value. They're not going to see this. Why are we picking them up?
But for anyone tuning in, we are not a food podcast.
This is actually a music podcast.
Yeah. Let's talk about. Let's start from the beginning then. Talk to us about your upbringing, musical influences, and things like that. How did it all start, basically?
Yeah, somebody else asked me this a while ago, and I realized something that was quite interesting to me, but I'd never thought about it before. And that was like when I was growing up, you know how like you sit with the family and you watch TV. Do you guys have Sky?
Used to.
Yeah, like I used to as well.
Yeah.
And basically on Sky, there's like, I think channels from like 350 to like 400 are all music channels.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day, how as a family, like we used to just not watch TV. We would just like go on the music channels and just go through like all 50 music channels until we found something we liked, and then we'd watch the song or whatever. And I was just thinking about that the other day, and like how that probably was like a big thing in my life, and actually like got me like really into music. And I remember I would come home like really like from school, or like wake up really early, and I'd do the same thing by myself, because sometimes if you did it like past a certain time, you'd find like rap songs and they would uncensor the swear words and stuff. Dude, I remember seeing one time, I can't believe this was on TV. Do you know that like that song PIMP?
Yeah.
By 50 Cent.
Yeah.
There's like an uncensored version of that video where like the girls are all naked. And like
that was on TV, that was on Sky.
And I saw that on TV as a kid. I was probably like 6 or something.
Wicked.
And like wicked, yeah, exactly. I was like, that's nuts. I can't believe they put that on TV. But yeah, so that's what I would do. And so yeah, listen to a lot of like hip hop. The Neptunes were like massive around then, and they were like producing for everyone, and they were quite like groove driven and it was just very cool production.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of was like a very strong early influence.
Mate, the same way you must have felt about that 50 Cent music video is probably how I felt when I was watching like the Pink Power Ranger on CITV.
Oh really? I never watched Power Rangers, so I wouldn't know, man. No, I wouldn't know. But
I see you'd get up every morning to watch music channels, and I'd get up like at 7:20 to watch the episode of Power Rangers that would come out. I would be like, before I could even read the time, I was like, Mum, you have to wake me up at 7:20 because that's when Power Rangers comes on. So yeah, there's no ifs or buts about it.
Oh right, and you had a little thing for that
Pink Power Rangers. Always. Pink
Power Rangers. Nice.
Yeah.
What was the other girl? Is the yellow one, right?
Yeah.
The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is very racist when you look back.
Oh, is it?
I mean,
really?
When you think about it, right? So you had the red, blue, black, yellow, and pink Power Ranger. Now, the pink Power Ranger is a girl. The yellow Power Ranger was an Eastern Asian lady. The black Power Ranger was a black guy. And like,
do they take off their masks? I didn't.
No, the characters like when they're like doing their normal thing before they transform. So it's just like when you look back on it, you're like, this is very not subtle racism. It's like, but I mean, they moved past that pretty quick. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, Power Rangers is pretty racist to start with.
Interesting.
Should get cancelled.
Can't say I knew that.
Do you not?
Yeah, me neither.
I think this is the age gap showing. Because you're.
I'm 22.
22.
I'm 20. Yeah.
Oh shit.
How old are you, Amir?
I turned 25 last month. Yeah.
We're all 20s.
Yeah, but I think I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm realizing my age. When, firstly, there's that whole thing about, will young people getting discounts if they've had double jabs and everything? I'm just thinking, shit, am I a young person now? Do I qualify for that?
I don't know. Are you?
Yeah. I don't know.
Is it like 18 to 25? That's like the usual bracket.
I hope I'm still qualified as an official young person.
Yeah.
Also, like when I'm like round like corner shops and stuff, I don't know if I should be calling like these middle-aged guys like uncle or bro anymore. So like, I'm just like, shit, man. I think I'm closer in age to you than you think. But yeah, this is where the blurred lines start happening with age.
I think you're good, man. I think you're good, man.
I think I'm all right for now. It's in the soul.
Yeah.
It's in the spirit.
So anyway, I was doing that as a kid, and then when I was 8, my dad got me this software on this computer, like the family laptop, called Magic's Music Maker, and I started just making beats after school.
Nice.
Just like dragging in loops and like really simple. It also like you had the ability to like record instruments and stuff in, so I had like a really terrible mic, and like I would record guitar in, I would like write songs and stuff, and I would put them on CDs and like give them out to people at school.
Nice.
So was there always a guitar around the house, always instruments about?
Well, yeah, I think the production came first. Mm-hmm. Like I was just making beats, and then my dad got me a guitar. I think when he saw that I was interested in that, he got me a guitar because he played guitar as well. So yeah, got the guitar and production like very young. I think 8 is pretty young to start like doing like production. But it's something I'm very like thankful for. Because when I got to like school, I just had like quite a bit of a head start for a lot like in terms of a lot of other students like at college. So
I mean, I think like it's really interesting that you say that, because it's similar in a way to me, because like my dad's a guitarist as well. Still today he plays in function bands. It's like a second job. But yeah, there was always guitars lying around the house. I remember he always used to let me play it, but I never took it seriously. And he said, when you start taking it seriously, I'll treat you to a guitar. So I started playing about year 7, year 8. I think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but he said, I was probably about 9 or 10. He said, when you can play the Sweet Child of Mine solo, I'll buy you a Les Paul. So I spent about a year just absolutely grinding that till I was about 11. And I got that out, and he bought me a Les Paul. And since then it's been like, I mean, that's what I do. I study it at uni. But was there ever anything like that for you where it's like everyone knew it was serious?
No, I don't think there was a single point, but it was probably pretty gradual. Yeah. But when I was like, I think it became more serious for me when I was like 16, which I feel like is pretty like formative in most people's like musical journeys. Like the music you start listening to around like 14, 15, 16, kind of sticks with you pretty strong, I feel like. So yeah, that was when I started listening to like, you know, like people like FKJ or Tomish or John Mackay or Moonchild or people like that. And then I just basically from like 16 to 18 completely just copied everything FKJ did. I bought the same keyboard as him. I did the same live setup. I bought all the same gear, and I would basically I made my own music, but it was very inspired by him, and I would play shows around. So I'm from Basingstoke, which is like down south, and I would just play shows around Basingstoke at like weird venues that are like, I would be like supporting like metal bands, and I'm playing like this weird like jazz before, which is like really strange. And I did that for a while, and then basically just came up to do uni in London at Goldsmiths. And when I moved up to London, I just met some people. Met this girl Carmody.
You got a song out with her?
We have a song together. That was the first thing we ever did, ever.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the first day we met, we just wrote that song. And she's just been like, she was basically the catalyst for, there was this one guy called Albert Gold, who I met in Basingstoke because I supported him. And then he introduced me to Carmody, and then Carmody introduced me to like, basically like everyone else in the world.
How was Goldsmiths? Because I've got a couple of pals there and they say it's really good.
I don't know because I didn't really go in.
Oh, fair play. Same with me.
No, please don't. It was bad.
No. I endorse that.
I don't. Stay at school, kids. Is what I'll say.
Pick up your loan.
I don't know if it's for the same. I don't know if it's for the same reasons, but I dropped out of BIM. I just felt like I wasn't getting anything from it, and I felt like self-learning was being more beneficial to me. I don't know if that's for a similar reason or.
Yeah. I can't. I don't know if this comes across as like braggy. I don't want it to, but I'm like I genuinely don't think I learned anything.
No, fair play.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And it was, I guess I learned, how to like, there was some cool like group projects and stuff that I did learn some stuff, but yeah, like most of it, does come from me. Yeah. I've never had a teacher. That was the only thing. Yeah, in Goldsmiths, I had like two piano lessons, and that's the only lessons I've ever had. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I did enjoy them, but I didn't want to like have loads of lessons. Do you know what I mean? I guess it's always been quite like a self-driven thing.
I think there's so many resources now on like the internet that you can actually like self-teach a lot. There's obviously certain things like technique that you probably want to run through your friends or through teachers and stuff like that. But a lot of theory, a lot of harmony, a lot of understanding like that, it's just done through listening and reading. Like just talk conversations even. Like I talk with Joe all the time about some random stuff.
Yeah.
Like musical, non-musical, anything. But yeah, it's just like you learn more through experiences, don't you, than you do actually just like reading a book. Or...
Yeah, totally. I mean, what I was finding was I was just making music, and I was like learning other people's songs through the internet or by ear. And then what I found was when I started reading like jazz books or whatever, I realized that I just realized what the words were for the things that I already had.
Yeah, like
my
a
mind.
minor 7 or like a 2 chord or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of knew like what major and minor 7s were or whatever, but it was more just like, oh, so I know that if I play this chord, you know, if I play like the sharp 4 chord here, like I know that this sounds kind of cool, but then I was reading books that were telling me why that was a cool sound or something like that. Yeah, and I think I don't know, it's probably a decent way to like learn music theory, is just to get your own kind of understanding of it, and then you just learn the words after, so that you can explain it to other people if you're ever in that situation. I think,
and you can find yourself in that situation quite often, depending on which sort of route you go down.
Yeah, totally. That was the thing. I wanted to be like a jazz musician, like a session musician kind of thing for quite a while. But I think when I moved to London, I realized that I just wasn't good enough to do that thing at all. Because in Basingstoke, like there's not anyone doing the kind of music that I didn't meet anyone doing like that. And so you kind of get in your head like, oh, dude, I'm like the best musician in Basingstoke or whatever. And then obviously I moved here, and what happened is I met this girl, and like we started going out, and she went to the Royal Academy and like introduced me to all her friends, and I was just completely humbled from that point onwards. Like people in London are just insane. It's just crazy level of musicianship.
How do you react to it? So you came to this point where you realized you had this. Yeah, it sounds like it's pouring down, isn't it? Yeah. I wonder if that's going to pick up on the mic, but I mean, maybe it's atmospheric.
Yeah.
But I left the windows up. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I did. Yeah. No. But yeah, so you moved to London. You kind of got like maybe overwhelmed with all these like amazing musicians. How do you personally like take that on did you just take it on the chin and be like, all right, I just got to shed like 10 times more than what I did already?
I think I play to my strengths. I think as soon as I just decided, okay, well, I'm obviously not good enough at guitar or piano or bass to like be at this level. But the one thing that none of these people who I was meeting were actually doing was like production.
Yeah.
And like songwriting and things like that. And so I thought those were my strongest things. You know, whenever some like a friend would introduce me to somebody, they'd be like, oh, this is this specific producer or something. Yeah. And then I realized actually like that was always the thing. I mean, it was the first thing I did when I was a kid. I started like production, and then playing instruments was always just to serve the production. It was never to like be a sick musician. So I think I just had my priorities the wrong way around. And as soon as I switched them around, I was like, I need to just focus on production. Things just went a lot better. And I think that's
I mean, it's working out. It's working out so far.
It's all right. Yeah.
It's all right. Yeah. I mean, and you're an Ableton user, aren't you? Which of course you can see if you go on twitch.tv/Conor Albert.
Oh yeah. I'm doing these streams. I guess when this comes out, I'll still be doing them every Sunday. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the one last Sunday.
It was mint.
Oh, thanks,
mint,
man.
yeah. Max is great.
Oh, Max is amazing. Yeah. Max Pope for people watching. Yeah. But we just made this tune in an hour. It's really fun. I think he's the perfect kind of guy for that, because he was just kind of making up lyrics. He was very quick. We just
I liked how quick he was with and how smooth the whole process was. It wasn't like I mean, of course, there was like that initial bump with just trying to get the timing with the guitar right and everything, and then it just kind of smoothed it out. But it wasn't like, oh, you know what, like you can't sing over this rhythm or anything like that. Everything just worked out quite nicely, and it was quite catchy as well.
Yeah, I hope it hasn't set up like a false expectation for me. Like, hopefully all the other ones will go as well, but they can't. They can't. There probably will be one that doesn't go as well, but.
Take it on the chin, isn't it?
Just exactly.
So,
process.
Are you planning like an EP for these tunes? Or?
It's a good question. But by the end of it, I'll probably have like, I probably won't do this kind of thing every week, but like I'll probably have like 5 songs or something. So yeah, maybe I'll just chuck them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you did with the you did 100 sketches, wasn't it, where you uploaded all your sort of Instagram loops.
Yeah, with those though, because I really wanted to put them on Spotify.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, I wanted to like put them all,
all of them, all 100.
Yeah, and my manager's just like, definitely don't do that, because apparently algorithmically, like if you
You'll
put up
break the algorithm.
a lot of music, if you put a lot of music with a lot of low streams on Spotify, it really messes up things.
Right, so
algorithmically.
it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, which is weird.
That's weird, yeah.
Because, like, have you seen Chris Brown? Like, he just releases like 80-track albums. Have you seen this?
What?
No, I thought I read something about this because it was when Drake released his double album, and it was something to do with like when people click play on the album and just play it through, like it would just of course rack up a play on every one, and then it kind of just helps you with getting chart positions and playlists much easier. And stuff.
Yeah, I remember he even called one of the albums a playlist, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Can't remember what album it was.
I mean, it's
but-
just basically it's a new gimmick that artists are having to.
Yeah, but Chris Brown takes it to the extreme. I said
tracks.
80, but like 50. There's one.
That's
He's got a
insane.
few albums with like 55 tracks.
Oh,
It's,
okay,
like,
yeah.
mental.
I'm glad I've never really indulged in that side. Then like if 50
Yeah.
tracks, I don't know where to start with that.
Literally, yeah. Imagine talking to like a friend about that album. You're like, yeah, I love track.
Yeah, track 39.
36. Yeah, that was ours.
I mean, first of all, how would you even like churn out that much music? I mean, I read the other day that, you know, Buckethead, the guitar player.
Who?
Buckethead.
Oh yeah.
He's got like 300 albums or something like that.
Has
I
Yeah.
think he does an album like every week or something mental.
Wow.
Yeah. But and when you listen to them, have you listened to any? of them?
Yeah.
Like, Like you can tell that they were all done on the same day because it's like the same drum sound, the same guitar sound,
Yeah.
but it's just slightly different chord progressions.
Okay, so yeah.
I think that's probably the same with Chris Brown. I mean, you know, he probably works like really hard to be fair, but like, actually, not that I'm trying to shout out Chris Brown. He's kind of like a bad guy, but
Yeah, I don't rate him, but
maybe I've just gotten rid of my potential Chris Brown feature now.
yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, maybe I'll chuck them up on Spotify, I think, because it'll be a more cohesive project.
Definitely. I think this was a sort of an illusion I had to sort of shout at myself was when, you know, you'd read online about, you know, with production and stuff like that, and everyone's like, oh yeah, I'll be making 3 to 5 beats a day. And I'm just here, be like, I'm stuck on one. And then you realize like 3 to 5 beats a day is like 3 to 5 8-bar loops that people are putting together with like maybe slightly different progressions. And
Yeah.
but they're like, because I think I have a slightly different approach, which is like, you know, I have to really think about what it is I want to do or put out, or like what I want to work on, because I think that's every day is a learning experience from that, right?
Yeah, I've seen that with artists as well. Like, there's definitely 2 types of artists. One that does like, you know, 150 demos for an album.
Yeah.
And then there's another that they write like 10 songs they're really happy with, and then they just work on those 10 songs.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've just definitely always been the one to just make loads of ideas rather than stick with just one. But yeah.
And I don't think there's like a wrong or a bad or worse way of doing it. It's just whatever works for you. It's like, I think with certain artists, like you probably get attached to those songs much more because it like some sort of like sentiment within lyrically or whatever it might be. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess that's kind of relates to burnout a little bit, because producing 150 demos and things like that, I guess artists can get tired and artists can get sick of the music themselves. Do you ever have that?
Yeah, I've had that for the last... I've only recently just got back on social media. I took like a 2 months break, really. Yeah, I definitely got burned out. Basically since... So at the beginning of this year... No, in October, which is now almost a year ago, I started putting up like a beat every day.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I'd basically been posting every single day, every other day for what is that, like 9 months? Yeah, which gets a bit long.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie.
It's tiring, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the growth though from that and your like social media and your presence as well in the scene has been huge. I guess that's the benefit, but the con is that it is tiring and it does just...
It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. I got very addicted to it. Like when I started doing the videos with like the clones, and that was when people started like really like paying attention. I mean, I basically it's kind of weird to think about. I started off the year with like 5,000 followers, and then by June I had 130.
That's insane.
That's what I was telling Joe. I was like, I'm sure this guy had 5K when I was following him before.
Yeah, you've been there since
I've been there. I can't prove that. I cannot prove it. I wonder if there is a way.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back and like your very first post. Like, look, Conor,
I mean, that's almost life-changing stuff, though, isn't it? I mean, like, those kind of numbers, like, you know, it goes from being a musician to, I don't know, it's like a full-time job. It becomes, you know, your name gets recognized by all these people, and now you're like a frequent collaborator of the UK's biggest names. You're like one of the UK's biggest names musically. It's insane. Like
I don't know about that,
but that's the thing. People in our space, that's how we look at the Conor Albert. You know what I mean? We see the videos and they've got thousands and thousands of views, and it's like, that guy's sick. That's what we want to be like. So that's life-changing stuff. How has that been?
Well, yeah, as I said, I got addicted to it.
Yeah.
Like, which I actually quite liked because it meant that I wanted to post like
it's a
every
healthy
day.
obsession.
Yeah. I think so. I always thought about it like, people always be like, oh, my ex was always like, oh, you're on social media too much, you're blah, blah, blah. And I always just thought about it as like, I want this to be my job. You know, if I had a business, which is basically what this is. Like, if I had a business, dude, I'd be checking my freaking PayPal like every other day, like being like, oh, is there any new sales or whatever? Because you're so invested in it.
Yeah.
And so that's how I felt about social media, like, and I still do. Like, I'm just checking it all the time because I'm invested in like how things are going. But yeah, like it's been weird. It has been strange.
It must come with the haters though. They must be fun to read.
Not really that many. Maybe like I've read like 5 hate comments, which is good. Yeah,
that's actually quite good. Yeah.
I think it hasn't been that bad. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of people. The thing was like I had a lot of people that I already knew.
Yeah.
Who were like already following me or whatever, like Ruben, James, or like someone like Tom, like Tomish, like who we'd kind of known each other. We'd known of each other for ages. But as soon as I started posting more and like doing something every day, people just start to understand that you are alive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And
it's like a portfolio, if anything, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I think it's just like if you look busy, people like. There's like a subconscious thing where people like want to get in contact with you. And so, yeah, as soon as I started just doing something every day, like people I just started getting messages. Like as I've just picked it up just last week, again, I just wake up and there's just loads of messages from people. Yeah, which is very nice.
Yeah, and I guess it was through that as well. You kind of got this little signature little look with your Fender, wasn't it? With your Strat with the little label hanging off of it.
Yeah.
What's that about?
What is that about? I basically last year I kept buying guitars and then sending them back because I was trying to find like a good guitar. And so I bought this one and I was like keeping all the plastic and stuff on it because I was going to send it back, but then I just never did. But the thing is, I hate my guitar.
Really?
Yeah. I think it sounds awful.
Just as like you like in Strats in general, or just like
no, I really love Strats, but my guitar's trash. It's like, I think it just needs like a good setup, and I think it would be nice. But I've hated it ever since I've started playing it. I don't know why I kept it really, but but yeah, when I get a new one, I'll keep the tag on. And,
decent, just keep the lit going, keep it good, strong. Because it's like. It was in your single that you put out with Mac Ayres, The Moonlight, which you've actually got a little tag showing in your picture, haven't you? I'm pretty sure. Or is there one of your artworks?
Yeah, that's the album art for the project.
Yeah.
And I did keep the tag on. That was funny.
Was that very specific, or was that just sort of, it's kind of known now, like it's the tag has
I don't know. I never asked, so the guy who made the artwork, Rory Dewar, I never asked him to take it off or leave it in, so So maybe it is.
Yeah, it's now become a part of you. Or like just like big. Yeah, you can't actually get rid of it ever.
Yeah. I did actually, when I did the 100 sketches thing, I was very clear to her that Wenji Achi, who did the artwork, I said to her, like, please keep the tag in. Because I wanted it to look like all the videos.
Yeah.
Like even down to like the color scheme as well. Like the artwork for that is like very yellow, and like all the videos were very yellow. I put like a yellow filter on them. So.
This is the importance of what you're saying, like investing in your own brand. Like you kind of recognize yourself, and you can kind of make yourself set apart. Like I know this sounds really silly over like a little label, but it works. It works.
It really does. I think like a great example at the moment is one of my friends, Maya Delilah.
Yeah.
If she'd be up for it, you should get her on the podcast, I think.
We've tried, yeah.
Oh, have you? Okay, yeah.
Not that she said no, she just hasn't read the message yet.
Oh, okay, fair. But yeah, she's just killing it on Instagram at the moment.
Yeah, she's sick, sick.
Class, yeah.
And she has such a great aesthetic. She wears like very interesting, like cool
very
clothing.
Bright, vibrant,
very bright. Always sits down in all the videos. Always has the same guitar. And it's like, if you see, I think it's like a marketing thing, isn't it? It's like, if you see one thing, you'll see it the first time, you'll be like, okay, cool. And then you have to see it like 3 times for you to actually like to pay attention. And maybe on that 4th time, you actually give them a follow. And I think that's true of like a lot of
smart,
social media stuff. But it's like getting a good look. And I think I just fell into that kind of clone thing.
Yeah.
I didn't really think about it as like, this is going to be my thing or whatever. Because I was just copying Jacob Collier.
Because he did the clone thing with his little room, hasn't he?
Yeah, he had that song called Hideaway, and the video was
it's a great song.
Is it easy to do the editing on that?
It's easy to do if like they're quick. If you know like what you're doing with Premiere.
The more, and you've done it 100 times at least.
Yeah. Where it gets annoying though is like where I'll be sitting and I've like messed up and like put myself. Like my head is like obscuring the foot of another client. So then I have to then they take like hours to do one because I have to like set up like a green screen and like mask it.
Okay, so there's a lot more going on then.
Sometimes they take like that I did a little one for the tune with Mac Ayers and my head is like on top of a foot of another person.
Yeah.
And that took quite a while to get right. But it's really satisfying when you do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think because after I started doing them, I noticed a lot of other people on Instagram doing similar kind of videos.
Yeah.
And not to say that I'm like the only person that can do this or whatever, but it was like really cool to see. But what I saw that was like a lot of people that were doing those videos they wouldn't do that thing that I just talked about.
Yeah,
like if they
editing. Yeah.
Like they wouldn't go in on the edit and actually make sure that everything was perfect. Like if I got a video back and I was just about to post it and I noticed like a little thing, I'd just immediately get rid of it and just do the edit again. I feel like that was another thing that helped me. I was very meticulous.
I have to edit like even some of these episodes. I have to go like frame by frame sometimes. Just
really?
Because I did like, it's little things, isn't it? You just don't, I think when you kind of start working on it, the more and more you get into it, like you just want every detail to be right. If you're going to do it right, do it right the first time.
Totally, man. Yeah. I'm excited to see these videos come out as well. It's going to be a new like angle to the podcast.
Yeah. And I was just saying to Joe, like, because we've been doing them over Zoom for the past year, and obviously not everyone's internet connection and webcams are like incredibly reliable. So it's just like
Joe's like,
we had Jesus Molina on. And he's incredible, and like
episode's out a week from today.
Yeah, a week from today, and that was obviously an insane experience. But I could hardly hear what he's saying for about an hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's such a shame because
connection issues. But once we've got that money rolling in, and we can fly out to Colombia and go see him. And be like,
wow, is he in Colombia? I didn't know. Wow, yeah.
He's a cool dude though.
He was another guy who did the clones thing.
Did he?
He might have done it even before Jacob Collier, actually.
I didn't see his clone thing.
Yeah, he did it years and years ago. He was one of the first people I saw doing that stuff as well. He can play literally everything.
He's incredible, isn't he?
Yeah, I didn't realize he was a sax player first, and then he became a keys player and everything. So,
dude, he plays like
he can shed drums as well. Yeah,
drums, like everything.
He's really humble about it as well. I mean,
he said
you know that when you check out the episodes.
He said, "I'm not a drummer and I can't play drums." Remember?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Jacob Collier always seems to come up on this podcast. Every person we have on,
fancy him, but
we all fancy Jacob Collier.
I don't fancy Jacob Collier. I'll fight him.
Yeah, talking about musical proficiency, like you can obviously play quite a few instruments really, really well. And like on all of your tunes, there's guitar solo, keyboard solo. How do you choose?
How do I choose?
How do you choose what fits on a record, and how do you go about the solos?
I don't know. I've been learning recently. Not learning. I've just been trying over the last 6 months to just completely trust my intuition and not change my mind about things. So if like I have a drum loop and the first thing that comes into my head is like, I feel like piano should go on this, or I feel like Rhodes should go on it, or I feel like bass or guitar, I'll just do the first thing that comes to my head. And that'll, I guess, just be informed by like maybe sessions that I've had the previous week or something like that, and like, or what I've been listening to. So I really don't think that hard about it, honestly. I just, whatever the first thing that comes to mind, and I just stick with that, because when you have to make a video like every day, and you have to, and I'm in sessions like pretty much every day as well with other artists, like there's just no time to be like thinking too hard about
Kenny
things.
Beats are slow, don't overthink shit.
Exactly. And it's so true. It is so true. As soon as I started thinking like, I'm just gonna, like, all those reels are just the first thing that just comes to my head, and I just play it, and then it's over, and I put it out. And then you can use your like meticulous part of your brain after to like tweak things, and like that's the part I kind of hate about music creation, like just mixing.
You can spend hours on one like 4-bar progression or something like that.
Yeah. Or just hours, like just a transition between different parts of a song or whatever. So yeah, it's just intuition. And with solos and stuff, I think honestly, it's like if I can play in a certain key. Basically, I'm really bad at playing in A major or E major or B major on the keyboard, because there's like loads of flats in it. And so if they're not in any of those keys, then I'll usually play it on guitar. And if it's the other way around, then I'll play it on piano. But yeah, it's just...
What about like G flat, where it's like all
G flat,
F sharp or whatever?
I kind of like G flat, but not for soloing. I like playing chords in it.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to practice, basically.
Yeah, you'll make time at some point eventually, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like I'm waffling a bit now, but like I've just like I had a session with Tomish a while ago, and he was like, I was like, when was the last time you practiced? And he said probably like 7 years ago. Wow. Like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, my version of practicing is just playing over songs I like and just producing songs. And I think I'm just in that space now as well.
It's more memorable discoveries that way. And like, if there's a certain song and you can do a certain trick over it, like I'm just making stuff up now, but like, you can do this certain lick over it. Eventually that kind of slowly sinks in, and then you can just play it in your own music at some point. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think, that's what Maya does as well. She just like learns like bare solos.
Yeah.
And then it's just a subconscious thing. You don't have to think about it too hard and be like, oh, I'm going to practice this lick in every key. It just kind of comes out a lot of the time.
And I think one of my mentors, Jack Handysides, shout out Jack.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
You know Jack?
Cool.
Oh, sure, yeah,
on Instagram. But yeah.
So, he actually gave me this one golden nugget of advice, and I was like, and it's very similar to what you just said. He said, like, the best players out there probably think less than you do when they're playing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking, I mean, I've been watching the world like, shit. But, that must be so true, because every time you ask someone, like, any virtuoso or anything like that, like, what are you thinking about when you're playing over this chord? Like, A major, maybe?
Literally, yeah. I think, Ruben, I don't know, Ruben always says this to me. You just learn that kind of stuff so that you can forget it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Mark Lissiri said something similar where on our first episode was he kind of learns a song and then he just intentionally forgets it. So then it kind of he's playing bits of it. Basically, he's playing the melody and doing his own thing.
Yeah, I really wish I could go back to what I was doing like 3 years ago and just tell myself that you just don't need to like try. Like I was trying to like play like really fast jazz stuff, and I was like trying to like play in a certain way and like produce really complex music. And literally, I mean, a very small subset of people want to hear that kind of thing. And I have a lot of respect for people who do, but I'm at a point now where I can't. Like I just played a gig last night with some friends called Jack Robson and Hugo Piper, and playing on that gig, like there was a trumpeter who was playing as well, and he's like obviously like a jazz trumpeter who's like very good and just playing like really like fast stuff that I could never play. But then when it was time for me to like have my own bit, I just played like super slowly, and like it was
people
like,
remember the melody more.
I mean not that I was playing better than him or anything like that, but just like that's just the sound I've gravitated towards.
You weren't being like and I guess you weren't like projecting insecurities by like playing as fast as he was or anything like that. You were just
exactly yeah, it's just having the confidence to be like you don't need to play something really fast or virtuosic.
It's sick when they do play it, but
exactly. I do have a massive appreciation for that, but it's also come into that for songwriting as well. Like it's weird, I'm in a weird position at the moment because the music I'm releasing is like I used to, the genre of music that I produce now, I used to listen to a lot, like maybe like last year or like 2 years ago, but now all I listen to is pop music.
The same.
Drive down.
Really? Oh,
Well, I've been telling Joe how much I love the new Griff album, or it's mini album. I don't like the term. I'd call it an EP, but the new Griff release.
I had I did a video with her.
Oh,
like
sick.
A few weeks ago. Well, like she does this series on YouTube.
Yeah, the way she makes the song and it covers the song in the day.
And we did one together. I don't know when it will come out, or if it will come out. Maybe she hates it.
I think it was something I was saying to Joe. Like when I was just getting really excited. I was like, Joe, look, with pop music, you've got pop music, and then you've got Griff's music, where it's just like in terms of course the productions, everything's top class there. But from a lyrical standpoint, the metaphors she's using and the wordplay, like a lot of this instrumentation and all these sound selections have all been done before, I guess. But like words and lyricism is very much where there's a lot of creative room left. You can't steal someone's lyrics, and you can probably take the melody. I mean, Ed Sheeran did it with Shape of You, but he credited TLC.
That little credit.
Like with lyricism and stuff like that, there's still so much more to explore, like musically, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what's cool about her is she does everything herself.
Yeah,
she produces it all herself. And there's only a few tunes on that record that are co-written.
Nice.
She's one of those people. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you see an artist who's like up and coming. Well, not that she's basically famous
she's
now.
Pretty cool, yeah.
But like you see an artist who's like, she's not at like Dua Lipa stage, but she's like about to be there. Yeah. And you're like, oh, you know, maybe there's like a big machine helping her do this kind of thing, and like, you know, maybe she's not actually that talented. Oh, you think? But no, like, and not that I ever thought these things about her anyway, but some people might get that impression. But working with her, it was just like, no, actually, you're like actually incredible at what you do. Like her voice is cool. Insane. Her writing is insane. Like, and she's so on it. Like during that whole video shoot, she was like getting loads of, her managers were like, oh yeah, you need to do this and this and this, you know, tomorrow. You need to do this like thing next week. Oh, can you do this like Instagram takeover? And she was like, yep, cool, all good. She was so on everything. Like, she's like somebody I was like, you deserve everything that's coming your way.
Nice,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she's awesome.
I mean, I guess we should remind ourselves this is the Conor album episode. So let's talk about the EP you did with Alice Hour, because this is one of the many musicians that you met whilst being in London. It's called the Smile or Forget EP. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, it's Smile.
It's Smile. Yeah. So the Smile EP, where it was like 4 or 5 tracks. Very, very nice.
Yeah, we're both big fans of that.
Yeah. I think we were just, I think it was yesterday or even on the drive down, the on the Crazy He Calls Me, the little intro you put into that is so class. It's so perfect.
Thanks so
It's
much,
so
man.
sweet.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, man.
But how did that come about? So I mean, because Alice Hour pops up in your clone videos as well.
Yeah. How did that come about? She just messaged me on Instagram. Year and a half ago, something like that, maybe 2 years ago, and yeah, she had an EP out, which is taken down now, but I just listened to it, really liked her voice,
Yeah,
and that was kind of it. I always think about that actually, because I'm at a point now where I just genuinely don't have the time to like listen to those kind of messages anymore. I get a lot of messages from people who are like,
check out.
I'd really love to work with you or whatever.
Yeah.
And they might be sick, but I just genuinely don't have the time.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm really glad I met Alice when I did.
Yeah.
She's just got an amazing voice. She's a pleasure to write with.
Did you know you were going for an EP when you did it?
No, we just made one tune, and then I can't remember when it. Oh yeah, she wanted to make an EP, and she was like, "Well, like I'd like you to like produce it for me," and I was like, "Why don't we just do a joint thing?" Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it worked.
I think I was quite inspired by like Tom Misch and Carmody. They have that EP together. The first thing Tom or Carmody ever released was this EP called Out to Sea, and I've listened to that so much. It's like one of my favorite records, and I just love that like girl and boy duo thing, and. There's this other artists who I've been listening to loads, speaking about like pop music. This guy called Jeremy Zucker.
Yeah. So
you like
I've
him?
followed
Yeah.
him for a few years. Yeah.
I love his music, man. I've only just found it in the last month. Yeah. But I'm such a fan.
He did a similar thing with Chelsea Cutler.
Exactly.
He did two, Brent 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I always thought I was a bit weird when I was like following like that. They're all part of like the visionary management sort of group where there's like a roster of artists.
Okay.
And I like, because I started off with I love John Bellion stuff.
I've never listened to him.
I should. Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's you'll be surprised who he's ghostwritten for and which songs he's ghostwritten for. Like he did the hook for Eminem Rihanna's Monster.
Right.
But he's done a few other things as well. But that's kind of how I went into that rabbit hole, and then found Jeremy Zucker, and I found like Chelsea Cutler, and I think there's that Quinn 92 and some of the few other artists there as well. It's always nice to explore and discover new music.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he just has like that perfect line between pop and cool. Like it's just like pop music, but sick production.
Yeah. And it's super relatable.
It's very relatable.
Yeah.
Sometimes his lyrics are a bit cheesy.
That's American
like,
music. I think that's
think,
just like, I can't offend American people. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
But,
wow.
No, like,
what's he gonna say?
I'm gonna say something horrible. I can tell. Like, I know what I want to say, but I think it's gonna come out very bad if I say like I said.
Right.
But no, like I know what you mean. I think also with like music, and because you had your Mac Airs collab, and then you've got another song coming out, and I'd like to. I was trying to figure out a way to make a pun out of it, but it's called "Keep Your Faith."
Yeah.
And so that will be coming out on the 11th of August, I believe.
That's right.
Yeah. And how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it? I feel kind of weird about it. It's probably the weirdest I've ever felt about releasing a song.
Why's that?
Because I've never really sung on a song before.
Told you.
Okay.
So,
we were trying to figure it out. We were playing games with it.
Trying to figure out what.
Who sang?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's me. Well, I have one song that I've sung on before called Tell Me, which is on Spotify.
Yeah.
Not just Spotify. You can stream
everywhere.
it anywhere.
Worldwide. Conor Albert worldwide.
And yeah, it's weird because I've never like sung properly for a whole song, or like told a story, or like done anything about my own personal life or anything like that. So it's quite like exposing. It's quite exposing.
Yeah, I guess when you've had a lot of guest vocals and stuff like that, kind of.
Literally, like this is what I say. Like as a producer, I've been very lucky to work with just like some of my favorite vocalists in London, but like they're just incredible, and they'll sing something for you, you know, even if it's like the rough thing that you do in the first session, it'll sound amazing. And I've gotten used to that sound on my own production. And then for me to sing, it takes me like hundreds of takes, and it's like really a long process. And you know, on Tell Me, I just did a chorus and then I just copy and pasted it for like 6 times. But on this song, I have to do like a whole song, and so I don't get anxious for releases, but I just feel weird about it.
It's very personal. It's personal. It's like letting it go. It's kind of.
It must have meant something for you to want to sing on this instead of like write the lyrics, write the melody, and ask someone else to do it.
I've never done that anyway.
Okay.
I've always found that like a strange process. Like I have somebody I'm like is like a big influence on me. This guy called Shift Key, who's this like house producer. Yeah. But I had a session with him once, and he just released a song with Tinashe, and him and Tinashe have never met. They've never like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. I'm sure it's fine. But like they've never met. Like at the time before they released the song, they weren't even following each other on social media. He literally just sent a song to her management, and they were like, "Yeah, cool, we'll get to sing this." So they sent the vocals back, and then they have a song together.
No.
And it's like that's a very strange process for me.
Very transactional, I guess.
It is, and I think that's just, you know, you just get to a point where you're like, you have to make like a business decision. Yeah. And like the song is sick. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, and it's not like you can tell like, oh, I'm not trying to say there's no like heart or soul in it or whatever. It's just like, yeah, it's just quite a transactional thing. I guess it's quite common in like that kind of pop dance.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah, I think you got to do what works for you. Like, and we can't like be sat here judging everyone's sort of own situations. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it makes money, I ain't gonna knock it.
Nah, literally, and it's a banger. Like I understand why Tinashe took it, but yeah, it's quite a common thing. I mean, like a lot of artists do things that way. But that's what's so sick about Griff as well. Like she doesn't. She just writes everything herself. Like, so yeah, I wanted to sing this because I don't know. I guess it just didn't make any sense for anyone else to sing it. But and also, I do just want to sing more, but it's hard. It's very hard to sing.
This is the way to do it, though, isn't it? It's to kind of get it yourself. So you played at Jazz Cafe a couple of weeks ago. Was this song featured there, or did you sing?
Yeah. In fact, at that show, I sung like half the set.
Oh, sick.
Basically, like Marie couldn't come. Marie Dahlstrom couldn't come, and my biggest song is with her.
Little baby, she's got a baby, hasn't she?
Yeah, you know, she's had a baby.
Yeah.
I was like, what, you can't come to my show?
Come on.
I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but they take a priority over you.
Yeah, what the hell? I'm Conor Albert, man.
You're going to have to get used to this, Conor. Come on.
No, obviously she had a baby, and so she couldn't come. So, and I was like, okay, great. So I have this friend called Elsa who I'm going to release a track with soon as well. And she was going to be at the show, and I was like, Elsa, can you sing this song for me? And that was going to be the deal for the entire time. But then, I don't know, I just was like, I'm going to perform this last, and it's my show. Mm-hmm. I feel like I should just try it. And it's a very hard song to sing. I kind of regret it. But like it probably sounded okay, but like live singing is so much different to because you can't do takes. You can't like be meticulous about how your vocal sound is, and also you have to project more. I'm a very quiet singer on a record, and so at a show I had to like go and like exactly like that.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying this to Joe as well on the drive down. We clearly spoke a lot. We chat a lot of shit on the drive down, evidently, but I was just saying like how. Now, clearly I'm beefing Billie Eilish here, but her singing style, I don't think it would work in a smaller venue because just the volume and like you were saying, like, I don't know if it would work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very whispery, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. To be fair though, she does sound great live.
Oh yeah, she
I
does.
don't know why you hate Billie Eilish.
No, I really like her first album. I'm just not too keen on a new one.
I've seen her live. I saw her
neither,
live in Vegas. She's insane live.
Yeah.
It's just very. It is a whispery style of singing. How does that kind of style work in the smaller venues? I mean, because obviously she's playing like stadiums and arenas now. She's got huge like production and stuff. I'm not sure.
She just doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But
That's your problem.
To be fair though, when she does like acoustic covers and it sounds sick.
I guess. Yeah.
I think she's got an amazing voice. I love her voice.
Yeah. Productions. Have you seen like Phineas's production techniques and stuff like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Like how he really tries to draw in the influences of what the song's about, and he'll like, if the song's about a house on fire or something, he'll try and add sound effects of like something burning, or I don't know. This is me kind of really making it up, but that's kind of general.
No, I think because there's like the match.
Yeah, the match. That was
the match.
Yeah, it was the Matchbox. That was what I was thinking of with fire.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Have you seen the documentary?
I think I have. How long was it?
It was on Apple TV. It was like an hour long.
Probably not.
Maybe hour and a half. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's really good. Very inspiring, actually. It like you finish it and you're like, I want to be a pop star.
Wow.
I mean,
Phineas is great though.
Like your daily affirmations, you get up in the mirror and you're like, I want to be a pop star.
Yeah. My mate Lily, Lily Agnes, she says this as well. She watches like musicians documentaries all the time.
Yeah.
Like Shawn Mendes has one. Justin Timberlake.
What's the D'Angelo one?
I haven't seen it. I didn't know there's a D'Angelo one.
I'll send you a link.
Send me a link, man.
Yeah. I'll send you a link. So it's off. It was at a Dutch film festival, and I could only find one link on it. So I'll try and find it and I'll send it to you. It's great. It was about leading up to Black Messiah and everything like that.
Wow.
So,
Okay. Like after the kind of because he let himself go a bit.
Yeah, the hiatus and everything. There's the D'Angelo one. Brockhampton one's great.
Okay.
Saturation Trilogy.
Right.
The Ed Sheeran one's all right.
Oh yeah, it's weird. I've watched every single Ed Sheeran interview on the internet.
I think I went through a phase of Ed Sheeran.
Same. I think he's just like he's just a very cool guy.
Yeah, he's so cool.
Yeah. And I find it very interesting. Like I'll always watch like a Drake interview when it comes out, or like or a Billy interview or whatever, because it's very interesting to me to see what like the biggest people in the entire music industry think and what they're saying. But yeah.
Oh, yes.
Are we running out of time? Is that what's going on? Or?
I don't think we're far. I think we're not far off.
57 minutes, so I can just see the little roadcaster there. But I think we're pretty much coming towards the end, anyways, aren't we?
I'm not sure. Unless there's anything else you need to ask me.
What's next for Conor Albert?
So when this comes out, I guess Keep Your Faith will have just come out, and then I think I'll just release a song every month. The next one will be, I guess I can say this. It'll be with Maya Delilah. We have a song.
Oh wow,
nice.
awesome!
Out. And then after that will be this one with James Smith.
Nice.
Sick.
Yeah, he did mention something about it.
Yeah, I'm just letting it all out. There'll be one after that called another. Well, I won't say what it's called, but with this girl called Elsa. So it'll just be a song like every month. I'm trying to keep it consistent.
Something to look forward to at the end of everyone's. You get paid in, and you get a new Conor album. And you start.
And
which one do you look more forward to?
Any more Conor Albert gigs? Headline gigs?
I've got this festival at Lost Village on August 27th. And there'll probably be one more show before the end of the year, potentially two, but no like tours or anything like that.
That's all right. I
guess it'll be next year.
You can catch that at Conor Albert, which is on all your socials. Really.
Yeah,
that'll be linked below, won't it?
Yeah,
one N.
Yeah, it is actually one N. Yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up. I mean, big shout out to 10 Lenses Studios for this amazing setup. Check out this article. Will be on Soundbrenner at some point. With the release, and
do all the usual stuff, like
press
and subscribe.
Every button that helps us, like subscribe,
even dislike
follow,
if you need to.
I want my first hater. That's why I asked you about your hater. I want a hater. I want to really start beefing someone.
I was thinking. Oh no, I won't get like too deep into it. But what if Spotify put on comments?
Oh wow,
that'd be sick.
That'd be unbelievable. Yeah,
I'll be making random account now with it. All right, we'll just cut it there. Yeah,
sick. See you in a bit.
Peace.
Thanks, Conor.